This is Charles Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
This is Kyle Juszczyk, and you're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, hits to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks the guard tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle, sweeps down the sideline. Throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's good. Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
It is second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell intercepted. The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption. Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown. No greater redemption.
The San Francisco 49ers. We can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? It's your boys Mike and Tony from the Nothing But Niners crew. And guys, we are back to bring you another fun-filled episode. Today's show is going to be all about what our resident GM has to say. Man, we have not seen Tony on the airwaves in a couple of months. So before I turn the mic over to him, man, let me run through a couple of formalities really quick. Follow the instructions across the bottom of your ticket here, all right? First time here on the YouTube channel, you enjoy the show, you like the show, you like the vibe, you like the feel, hit that like button on today's episode. Give us consideration. Subscribe to the channel and then turn on notifications so you know exactly when we are going live. Give us a couple of follows on our social media platforms. We have Snapchat and X. Those handles are Nothing But 9 ERS. That is the number 9, Nothing But 9 ERS. And then we have Facebook, we have Instagram, and we have Twitch. Those handles are Nothing But Niners. That is spelled all the way out. No numbers in there anywhere. And make sure you join the community with all the bonus content, guys. That is patreon.com/NB9ERS. That is NB as in nothing but, and then Niners, baby. NB9ERS. Again, I am your host, Mike Andrews. You see it right here below me. To my right is my guy, Tony. He is MJ Niner Fans 499 on the X's. All right, Tony, what is going on, bro? How you doing, man? How you feeling?
First, you're very low and static. It was like interference.
All right, I should be back now. I can't believe I did that whole thing. I bodied that intro, but you can hear me now, right?
Oh, but there's still interference. There's static interference.
There's still static and interference. What the?
It's gone. Whatever you just did, just ended it.
Are you kidding me, man? I bodied that entire intro, dude. Like I was, so you couldn't hear anything I was saying at all?
No, you heard it, but there was just like that, like noise in it.
All right, well, you guys are gonna have to go back and rewind it because I put my foot in that intro, man. I'm putting the party. Let's go. Let's make some noise, man. But ladies and gentlemen, we have our resident GM, Tony. Tony's in the building. Put your hands together for our resident GM. Now, here's the cool thing. Right? It's not, shut up. It's not about the intro. It's not about anything I have to say. Today's episode is all about Tony's thoughts, guys. It's our resident GM, and we have not heard from Tony in a very, very long time. So we got training camp going on. We got a couple of weeks of practice here. We got no pads. We got pads back on, and we got a bunch of signing of different players and releasing of different players, and we are here to break it all down. I'm going to give some pushback. I'm going to give some feedback. However, it's not about me, man. It's all about what our resident GM thinks. So, Tony, man, how you doing? How you feeling? And what's been going on with you lately, man? What's up?
I'm good. I'm mentally drained. I'm tired. Just hanging out. Just trying to keep up to date with what's going on with the team. We have the first preseason game this week. We have an inter-squad scrimmage tomorrow. Is it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Up against those Broncos, baby.
Yeah. We have that to look forward to. And we'll be watching reports from camp on that. And then other than that, I've just been trying to just keep up with shit. That's it.
Yeah. It's been a little chaotic, man. We've got some quarterback turnover, we got some kicker turnover, we got wide receiver turnover, we have defensive lineman turnover. But the one position that seems to have been okay throughout this melee and medley of different players coming in and out is a linebacker position. So I want to start there, Tony, man. We know who Fred Warner is, where he's going to be playing, and what he does for this team. But the questions outside of him at the Will and at the Sam have been kind of question marks. The team they went ahead and released an unofficial depth chart. How correct do you think that unofficial depth chart is? Do you think that they got the Will and the Sam right for the 49ers?
Who do they have on it?
All right, so if you haven't seen it, I'll go ahead and share this image with you guys right now. Let me pull it up in case you guys haven't seen it. All right.
Is it Winters and Gifford?
Right now it is Gifford and Winters, yes. They have Gifford as the Sam and Winters as the Will.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that depth chart's going to change a million times. I think it's irrelevant. I think it's just made by the PR staff, and that's it.
It is
because it's very generic, and I just think that's gonna overturn by a lot. But the linebacker core is very interesting. I think it's on point right now. Temporarily penciled in as Gifford, Warner, and Martin, but I don't even think you're going to see Fred this week. So it's probably going to be Gifford, Winters, and Martin.
Bethune
will get some run.
You think Martin gets in before Bethune?
Yes. I think they're going to try. What I think they're going to do is they might put Bethune in as the Mike, or they might try to give Gifford or Winters an opportunity as the Mike, and then slide Martin up.
I think Winters gets the Mike. I think Gifford stays at the Sam, and then Bethune bumps down to the Will, and then Martin becomes the backup Mike in this scenario. How crazy am I?
I think Bethune, if he's going to make this team, is either going to be the Sam or the Mike. I don't think he has the speed to play the Will, the weak side.
Wow.
And I like the kid. I'm a Florida State fan. I watched him. He just does not. I think he's more of a Mike linebacker in this system. But I also think they want to see what D. Winters could do other than the Will. So I want to see. I think they want to see if there's versatility with Winters, or is he strictly just a Will linebacker?
All right. Do you have any other takes on the linebacker position before we move on from it here, man? Again, you got Gifford, Warner, Winters listed as the three starters or the three top at their positions, followed by Robinson, Bethune, and Martin, respectively. I thought there was a little bit of disrespect down here, but I'll let you tell it. They got Beal, Surratt, and Blanton at the end, and then Bradley and all the way at the end. No, never mind. I'm sorry. He's a defensive lineman. So what are your thoughts there, man? Is Jalen Graham the lowest guy on the totem pole behind Blanton and behind Surratt? Or am I just reading this chart wrong and he's ahead of those guys when it comes to the linebacker position?
I just think that's the way they wrote it. I think Curtis Robinson is going to be – it's going to be tough for him to make this roster. I see either Surratt or Jalen Graham making it before Robinson. I think Blanton is a prototypical Mike linebacker, but the versatility, can he do other things than just Mike? I think this group is deep. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight through the preseason and camp. It's going to be very interesting during cutdown for this group.
Wow. All right, before we get to the quarterback position, man, because that's going to be one of the money talks right there. Let's look at this defensive line. They have Mykel Williams, Kevin Givens, Jordan Ellie, and Nick Bosa as your starting four. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know how much I like this. I feel like Mykel Williams should start at tackle. And I know what they brought him in for. I know what he was drafted as. I know where he is supposed to be. But I just think he's better at the tackle position. What are your thoughts here? And even if you like him at the tackle position, are you leaving Givens and Elliott above some of these other guys like Davis, Collins, and West, or even Anderson?
No,
what are your thoughts on that starting
I don't
four?
think either one of those guys started defensive tackle this year. I think right now you would pencil in CJ West immediately as one starting defensive tackle. The second one could be either Collins, Davis, or Evan Anderson. Givens has a strained pec and is supposed to miss some time, so he's going to be out. Elliott could be penciled in as a starter opposite of West. I could see that. I don't see Mikael Williams kicking inside unless it's third down situations where he's the NASCAR package or whatever they call it. But listen, their emphasis, if you look at their draft class, their emphasis was stopping the run. They brought in 3 run stoppers. And until he proves he can't do it, he's the only thing they have opposite of Bosa to line up as a starter and stop the run. So he's going to be your starting defensive end opposite of Bosa. In passing situations, he'll slide in. Who they pair him with, I don't know, but it's going to be Huff that will come in off the bench as the edge rusher in the NASCAR package situation. I mean, you could see Okwanu come in opposite of Williams as a defensive tackle. So it could be Bosa, it could be Williams inside, followed by the other defensive tackle. It could be anyone from West. It could be the kid that they signed last year. He's not even on the depth chart. Gross Matos inside. It could be a number of different people, but
he's injured right now, so that's why he's not on the depth chart.
Yeah, but he could be. That's odd though, because there's a lot of guys that are injured right now that are on his depth chart.
Yeah, no. So there are like Givens is injured.
Oh, he's
right
on
now,
the
right?
pup list, I think.
Right, but yeah, that's exactly it. So if you scroll down to active pup list, you got YGM down there with Dillard, Ayuk, and Mustafa. So I'm showing that on the screen now for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about here. That's why you don't see YGM up there as a defensive tackle, because I think he would be ahead of a lot of these guys if we were to really be putting a depth chart together of active players. You know what I'm saying? But he's not for that specific reason, which bodes well for the Niners if he can get back, within the first 3 weeks. It's a nice way to catch teams off guard. I guess my question to you is this. If you take Mikael Williams off, who was the best run-stopping defensive end left of our active options? Don't tell me it's Jonathan Garvin or Jalen Allen. Like, are those the best run-stopping guys at the defensive end position?
I would probably say it's Robert Beal.
Robert Beal. Ooh. Okay. I like that. Now that I like. I like that. Okay. All right. And right at the top of the screen, everybody, is the quarterback position. They have Brock Purdy as 1, Mac Jones as 2, and Carter Bradley as 3. Man, let me play some horns for Carter Bradley. He has hopscotched and leapfrogged Tanner Mordecai. Tony, what are your thoughts on this? Is this just a favor to the coach, or is this something that you think Carter may have maybe earned, and maybe he shows a little bit more than a guy like Tanner Mordecai? What are your thoughts on the quarterback position? The third guy.
As far as Kyle sniffed around him in the draft process, Carter Bradley, he's from South Alabama. I forgot who drafted him. I think the Raiders drafted him. They hired Gus Bradley. Is it a favor? Maybe. But for them to legit jump out, sign him, and quickly move on from Mordecai going into the preseason where you're only going to have 2 arms, that says something about Bradley. From what I've been reading in some updates from the camps, for beat reporters or other content creators, that this kid's been whipping it around. He was talented coming out of South Alabama. There's no doubt about it. He is a coach's son. He knows what it takes, the commitment. I'm sure Gus has worked with him on reading defenses and stuff like that, what to look for, what route to hit on this coverage and what this look would do. But it's interesting how they just quickly moved on from Mordecai for this kid. I think Kyle really likes him. I think he sees something in him. And they're only going into this preseason with 2 arms other than Purdy to get them through these games. So it's interesting. I'm excited to watch him play, to be honest with you.
Well, so that's the thing, right? I'm way more excited to watch the unknown than I am the knowns, right? Like, I can't wait to watch this wide receiving core without Brandon Ayuk, without Debo. You know what I'm saying? Without Jawan Jennings. I can't wait to see just who emerges. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get my own eyes on. I don't want to see some controlled practice bullshit where they've been practicing against each other for the last 2 or 3 weeks. They know what each other do, right? I want to see these guys against raw talent. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. But that doesn't mean that I'm not terrified of the actual wide receiver core and who's left after the absence of Debo, or the departure of Debo, I should say, not absence, but the departure of Debo and Ayuk being on IR and, you know, things like that. So let's go to the wide receiver position next. Oh, shit. Sorry. Let me make that a little bit smaller. They have Jennings, who's going to be out, listed. They got Jacob Cowling listing as second behind him, who's also going to be out. Then they got Ricky Pearsall, Demarcus Robinson, Junior Bergen, Isaiah Hodgins, Equanimity St. Brown, Tariq Owens, Russell Gage way down there somewhere, and Jordan Watkins way down there somewhere. I mean, which one of these guys excites you the most and why? Because all of them, other than Demarcus Robinson, I don't need to see Jennings. I don't really need to see Pearsall because I feel like I know what he is, and I'm not as high on Pearsall as everyone else is. I wish Cowling was healthy. I would love to see him. And Demarcus Robinson, I feel like I know what he is, who he is. So all these other guys are like, ooh, what can they do? What can they do? Who are you most excited to see play on Saturday against the Broncos? And then which guys do you think are kind of like a make it? I forgot Robbie Chosen. I forgot they even brought him in. He was brought in less than 48 hours ago again. So what are your thoughts on the wide receiver position? And then we're going to get to the quarterback. Not quarterback, the running back. I'm sorry.
Jordan Watkins. I think Jordan Watkins has an opportunity to contribute this year. I just think Kyle needs to let him do his thing and put that little wide receiver previous playing the position at Texas thing aside and let this kid give this kid the opportunity to do what he could do. I'm really excited to see Jordan Watkins. Russell Gage has been tearing it up at camp. I want to see Tariq Owens as well. I've been hearing Tariq Owens has been looking okay in camp. So give him an opportunity versus, a team other than his defense week in and week out so far. Let's see what he could do versus a team that doesn't know what's coming. Like consistency with getting the same looks and stuff like that. Defenders might be jumping and cheating, knowing that this look is coming on this concept. No, let them go against another team. That's it. I want to see these guys get an opportunity to make a name for themselves.
Are you surprised at the quick departure of Isaiah Neyor? He was all the talk before the pads came on. He was all the talk of training camp and all, the training camp and OTAs. And then when the pads came on, I didn't hear his name at all anymore. And he was the first wide receiver to be released when it was time to bring more people in. And I don't think it was because of injury. What happened to him, and are you surprised by this?
I'm a little bit. I was kind of pulling for him, but I think once those pads came on, you saw his weakness. Fighting through the jam, creating the separation, consistent battling for position versus contact, stuff like that. I think that could have been a weakness of his. And they decided to pull the trigger and move on from him. He got picked up by the Packers. A lot of these guys that the Niners cut over the last couple of days are being picked up, so that says something. So, we'll see. Maybe he has a different opportunity there, a different look, a different concept, so he'll be seeing. Who knows? Maybe he needs a change of scenery, but for them to pull the trigger on him quickly the couple days after pads came on, it says pretty much what they saw enough.
Well, what's weird is if you follow, I'll say is if you follow Grant's kind of insinuating that Pearsall's not necessarily beating man, but he's dependent on Kyle scheming him open with these slants and the space-creating routes, not so much dependent on his ability, but the routes that in the play design to get open. He's making it sound like Pearsall's not really winning in the one-on-ones. He's making it sound like he's not beating man coverage. When they jam him at the line, he doesn't know how to create separation. So if they did the same thing for a guy like Isaiah Nayer, would he have had the same success? And if so, why wouldn't they try that with him in place of a Ricky Pearsall?
That I don't know. I know Grant's been riding that one-on-one shit, but I forgot. I think it was Brad Graham who said that he had a good day versus press on the line of scrimmage. I forgot. Pearsall. He had like 4 or 5 catches that day. You got to remember something. See, and that's where you got to take one-on-ones as a grain of salt, right? A lot of Kyle's formations, they come out in bunches. There's motions. So they're getting that advantage to get that release without forcing a jam and create that separation with his ability to break away with his foot speed and his shiftiness to create that separation on a route. So I'm not too worried about that as far as what Grant's trying to the agenda that Grant is pushing, but he's consistently getting open when it's offensive, when it's team drill. He's producing in team drill. I'm not a fan of one-on-ones because right off the bat you have no other responsibility than the person in front of you. That goes for corners, wide receivers. That goes for linebackers, running backs. That goes for linebackers, safeties, tight ends. That goes for offensive linemen and defensive linemen. It is just a melee, a one-on-one battle to the whistle blows. Now, some people say that's good, that's important. Some people, like myself, I don't think that is as important because when you're in a game setting, it's not really like that. Why? There's design blocking schemes. You're rolling the protection. You're sliding the protection the other way. You're comboing. So football is a team sport. It's not a one-on-one game. So I don't know why everyone's got this notion in their head. It's so important to watch the one-on-one battles. So that's where I am with that. Someone put in here Pearsall versus Surtain. That would be a matchup I would like to watch. You're not going to see it. You might see it in the practices, but you're not going to see it in the preseason game because they're probably both not going to play. So, you have to be careful by putting all your stock in the one-on-ones. You could use it for somewhat of assessment, but then when you're saying he's not winning the one-on-ones, but he has the foot speed and all this stuff to create separation, you're kind of contradicting yourself in some way. So,
all right. Now,
not there.
Before we move on from the wide receiver position, I want to know which one of these guys you think gets the most reps, and I want you to tell me what you think it means. Are they trying to evaluate him for a roster spot, or is he just the guy out there, right? So I don't think we're going to see a lot of Pearsall. I know we're not going to see Jennings. We're not going to see Cowing, right? So that leaves Gage Jr., maybe Robinson. Those are the 2 NFL veterans. Then you got Tariq Owen, Junior Bergens, Isaiah Hodgins, and Aneko Nemiah St. Brown and Robbie Chosen, who is also another NFL veteran. Which one of these wide receivers do you think gets the most snaps during Saturday's matchup? And this is coming off of a joint practice, so let's keep that in mind. Which one of these guys do you think gets the most reps, and is it a good thing or a bad thing? Like, well, you got to give me your answer. What do you think?
I want to say Russell Gage. I want to say I don't know because it depends on the rotation. I think their offense is going to be very vanilla because of the practice. They have 2 practice sessions leading up to games. They have this one and then the Raiders. They are practicing with the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they're playing the last week. I don't think they have anything scheduled with them for workouts. So I don't know. It's week 1 of the preseason. They might want to get looks with Robinson and Gage early to see where they're at, get them, because don't forget Robinson's facing the suspension. They want to see where Gage is at. with the injury to Ayuk, with the questionable injury to Jennings, Pearsall being the only real healthy one, thank God, out of the top three. So I think it's going to be those two, followed by Watkins, and then whoever Kyle feels, or the wide receiver coach. What the hell is his name? I forgot his name. Whatever he feels with his rotation. So it's going to be interesting which guy gets the jump on it. What is his name? I forget his damn name all the time.
Andrew Hayes Stoker is the wide receivers coach.
No, it's not. That's not. It's easy assistant.
It's right there. No, he's the offensive assistant, and he's the wide receivers coach. I'm looking.
Hankerson, Leonard Hankerson. Leonard Hankerson is the wide.
Oh, yeah. And then I see.
He's the assistant because they gave what's his name, the passing game specialist title.
Gotcha. My apologies.
No, you're good.
They gave him Hankerson also has the pass game specialist title, so he's got the wide receivers and then pass game specialist, but then the other wide receivers guy is Andrew Hayes Stoker. So there you go. I think that the guy who has the most reps at the wide receiver position is the guy that's on the bubble. I know that sounds crazy, but my logic behind that is they want to know if you're worth holding on to or moving on from. So if Russell Gage gets a ton of reps, like more than Owens and St. Brown, more than a guy like Junior Bergen or Hodgins, I think they're trying to figure out if you're worth keeping around. They know what they have in Robbie Chosen already. So I'm worried about whoever gets the most amount of snaps at the wide receiver position. So
I think
after
week 3. Week 2, I don't know. It's tough because there's too many moving parts right now for the receiver spot, right? Your top 3 or the top out of the top 3, 2 of them are in question. One's an injury, and the other one is Ayuk, who's on the
holdout. Oh, Ayuk. Okay.
Jennings isn't in. I'm saying Jennings is an injury right now because of the calf, even though Kyle said ask Jennings. And Ayuk is on a pup. So right now you're going with Pearsall. If those two were healthy, then I would agree 100% with your notion. I honestly think they're going to try to figure out who has the lead going into preseason game 2 and 3 at 3, 4, 5, and 6 for this position group. Then once they find 3 and 4, if Jennings isn't back yet, we all know Ayuk's isn't there. But if they could find 3 and 4 after this practice and preseason game, then I'll say, all right, listen, now you're going to see people that are truly on the bubble for 5 and 6. And then the following week, it's going to be the person probably for the last wide receiver spot. I just think they're too unsettled right now to play that game as who's going to be on the back end.
Okay. All right. I respect that. Let's go ahead and transition to the running back position really quick. We know that Christian McCaffrey is going to be out, and so is Isaac Garindo. That leaves us with Patrick Taylor, Jordan James, Corey Kiner, and Amir Abdullah. I'm going to start this line of questioning in reverse of how we did the wide receiver position. So I'm going to start with where we ended. Which one of these guys do you think gets the most snaps in this game, and what do you think that means?
I think you're going to think I'm crazy. I think Corey Kiner gets the most snaps.
That dreaded number 49. That number 49 in preseason never bodes well.
You know what that
never
49
ever bodes well.
You know what that number 49 means, right?
I think that's a fullback number, if I'm being honest with you. But
you don't know the meaning behind it?
No.
He was handpicked by Bobby Turner.
I don't know the last time a 49 made the 53-man roster, so that's not good.
Matt Breida?
Matt Breida wore 49 in preseason?
Yep.
I thought he wore 27 and then 22.
22 in the regular season, 49 in the preseason.
Really?
The number 49 attached to a running back means it's Bobby Turner's dude.
Well, there you go, guys. That's new to me. So Bobby Turner has picked Corey Kiner. Per Tony. All right, so you think that he's going to get the most reps in this game. All right.
I think Jordan James is pretty much on this roster.
I don't know that Jordan James is going to get a lot of burn because he's coming off of an injury and he
Yeah.
has yet to take part in team drills since coming back off of that injury. Now, we don't know what this practice is going to be like tomorrow with the Broncos, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Wayne thought that Amir Abdullah was going to get the most carries.
He might. But I think right now, in the depth chart, I think Corey Kiner is ahead of Abdullah.
So who's number 3? If you're looking at this list, they got Christian McCaffrey, Isaac Guerrero, Jordan James, Amir Abdullah, Patrick Taylor Jr., and then Corey Kiner. Who's number 3?
So my depth chart for the running back, it's McCaffrey, Guerrero, James. Then it's a battle between Taylor, Kiner, and Abdullah. I think it's going to be Kiner, Taylor, Abdullah. That's just my opinion. But I also think that fourth running back comes down to special teams. And the interesting fact of this is Amir Abdullah can return kicks. And if he could show that he could be that running back, that fourth running back, and offer to special teams, that could give you more value than just Junior Bergen as your kick returner, punt returner, even though he was drafted. But the problem is the wide receiver position is so in flux. Bergen could slip onto this roster and potentially contribute as a wide receiver if needed due to injuries or whatever. So that would push Abdullah out. Your bottom tier guys have to play special teams. So when they make this roster, we'll just say hypothetically 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. They have to contribute on special teams, not only just a position group. So, like, if Abdullah could beat out Bergen as the return guy, Abdullah has a potential, and he outperforms Kiner or Patrick Taylor, he could win the fourth running back. If it's the opposite. And if the opposite is if Bergen outperforms, let's just say Tariq Owens and another wide receiver, and Abdullah doesn't do his thing, Abdullah's off the roster, and now you have Bergen, who would be the primary return guy. So special teams is going to be very crucial for the bottom half of this roster, especially between those two type of players.
Okay. Was there any other position that you wanted to go over off of the official, unofficial depth chart? They got Thomas Morstead as the punter, Jake Moody as the kicker, Morstead as the holder on kicking and extra point downs. They have Isaac Guerrero listed as a kickoff returner and Jacob Calvin as a punt returner, and neither of these guys are going to be playing in this game. So it looks like it's going to be a heavy dose of, based off of this list, Junior Bergen and Jordan Watkins. What are your thoughts here? Anything about the special teams unit stand out to you?
I think Bergen gets the tilt as the return guy, both kick and punt, because I think they want to see where he's at. And you know how I feel about the kicking situation. I truly feel if it was a 100% true competition, it would have been from start to finish. And the game plan for week 1, 2, and 3, other than the first drives, would be field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, and see who kicks in a game setting better than the other kicker. I understand injuries, but when you're knocking off a fourth quarterback going into a preseason where you don't have 3 arms to throw and you're only sticking with 2, I personally, let's be real. Like, scroll up a little bit. There's going to be dudes that are on this depth chart that are not going to even probably see the field week 1. What could Equiminius St. Brown offer you week 1? He was here for 3 days. Right? He was legit here for 3 days.
Didn't we sign him last year also in the preseason?
No. Chosen you signed last year.
I feel like we've signed Equanimous St. Brown before. Maybe it was
They-
twice this year.
Well, they signed him, they cut him, and they signed him back. So he's been signed twice in 3 days.
Does he bring more to the table than a guy like Robbie Chosen? That's the battle right there. It's between
You don't
him and
know
Chosen.
because I don't even think he fully knows the basic install of the offense. He's here for 3 days. You know Robbie Chosen knows this because Robbie Chosen was with this team longer last year.
He was with us for 2 weeks in the preseason. That's it.
2 weeks is longer than 3 days. He knows the basic install of the basic fundamental of this offense.
Okay.
So my thing is, if you are so focused and you pounded your chest, we are bringing in a veteran to compete with Jake Moody. Bro, anybody could kick when Weeks snaps it to Morstead and no one's rushing you. Like, that's I don't give a shit if they kicked 100 times. You're not. It's not a game setting. My game plan: first offense comes out, they try to score the first drive. After that, it's field goal after field goal after field goal after field goal. I want to see these guys kick in live game settings where they're gonna rush. You're gonna be under pressure. The timing is crucial. Essentially, yeah. I mean, what's his name could be sitting in the Hyatt right now. 100% he's probably there. He didn't leave that area. But my thing is this. How are you going to put the pressure on Moody when this guy's not on the roster kicking in game settings with him? What happens if Moody comes out and goes 2 for 4 in this game?
You want my answer?
Yeah.
When the game is over, you cut someone else to bring them back in, Greg Joseph, and let the competition continue.
So then why wouldn't you just not do that and keep that going and just attack it? Just attack every drive with a fucking field goal and let him kick. Let them both kick. You do one, I do one. You do one, and you just total it out at the end.
I think everybody else is going to get used on this roster.
I don't think
I think the only person that may not get used is Isaac Alarcon. He might be the only person. I think we see Drew Moss. I think we see Jake Nugent. I think we see Connor Colby. I think we see all these guys get snaps. Is Braden Willis still on this team? Didn't we just let go of a tight end and they got claimed by someone else?
P-Line got claimed.
Oh, that's right. Mason. That's right. Mason's the guy. You're right.
I just think, like, when you come out banging your chest, you're having a competition, and then you cut the guy after 1 week of camp. That's not a good look. I'm sorry. That's not sticking to your guns. That there's going to be a true competition. If you wanted a true competition, that's the way you do it. And if you got to play with one less defensive back because you have a billion of them, you play with one less defensive back. That's it. Kicker is very crucial to this team. Very crucial. He missed a lot of field goals. Some of them were game costing. Some of them were almost lost games. Bro, I watched the Tampa game this morning, just screwing around. He missed one. I think he missed 3 field goals in that game. But he made the last
3 field goals or 2 field goals and an extra point or 3 field goals and an extra point.
I think he missed 3 field goals. I thought Kyle was going to kill him when he came off to the sideline. But yet now they cut the kicker that's supposed to be the competition and say, okay, well, you kicked good for a week. No. Put his ass in fucking fire. Let him kick under pressure. That's how you're going to see what he's made of.
They've been competing for about 3 weeks here now, and there was only a 1 kick difference between the two of them.
I understand that. But again, shirts, helmet, no pressure, easy snap. Refs, according to the reporters, officials weren't even watching to go through. They were watching from the sideline with binoculars to see where the ball boys were catching it.
You can't say no pressure because a lot of this was during team exercises. So one thing that Brant Boyer was saying was why he valued the practices more than the preseason games was that he could simulate it, right? So let's say that it was a go-ahead score and the offense got held out. Now it's 4th and 3 from whatever yard line, he would run one guy out there, and then they would stop it and run the next guy out to kick from the same distance in the same scenario. And that's what it was a controlled environment. And what he was saying is we can't control it in preseason games. We can't even control it in joint practices. It's not our practices to tell them to keep their special teams unit out there. So that's why they were comfortable with letting go of one guy right now, because all that control is gone.
I disagree with that, because just because you call a timeout and say, hurry up, switch, that's a controlled setting. Yes. We're not looking to kick in controlled settings. We're looking to kick in live conditions. 4th and 3, get the punt, get the kick off.
But he wanted it to be even as far as the competition goes. Anything going forward is not going to be even.
That's why you keep 2 of them. This guy kicks this drive. This guy kicks this drive. Your game plan is kicking field goals. You're not in it to win games. You're in it to develop your field goal.
We're talking different down and distances. So it's not an even matchup. And that's what Brant Boyer was saying he wanted to see. I'm not interested in the competition where every kick isn't the same on the line. So he wanted to see it controlled. And so you don't get that anymore.
So then that's
I understand him walking away.
That's not a real competition.
It doesn't get more real than every kick is the same. That's when it's real. I don't want to run Moody out. I don't want to run Moody out there for a 29-yard attempt and then say, okay, Joseph, you're going to get the next one, but the next one's from 42 yards away. It's not the same, because one guy can make one and the other guy can miss the other. It's not the same. What Brant Boyer is saying is I want it to be as controlled as possible, and I want it to be as much of the same as possible. And it was only one kick separating them between all of the control.
That's understandable. I totally understand what you're saying, but I fully disagree with it. Because, again, it's not a live setting. It's not a game time situation. It's not control clock. It's not a time clock. It's not sprinting the team out in the field. Yes, okay, switch. That's not a game setting. You don't blow a whistle and say, switch. No, you're in a game. Shit, we missed it. It's 4th and 3 from the 43-yard line. Kick the field goal. Field goal, run out. Set up, shoulder width apart, snap the ball. Boom, kick the field goal. That is a live setting. That is where you're going to see who has it and who doesn't. When a game situation, the clock is ticking, you see the score, you hear the crowd, there is a wind in the stadium. This is what you want the kicker to experience. Not on a fucking practice field. They're not rushing full. I understand 20 for 20, 22 for 22. You want to keep it even that way. Fine, you do that in practice. In a live situation, my game plan, if I was Kyle Shanahan this week, throw the ones out, try to get 7. If not, one's off the field. Do what we could do. Let's drive. Joseph, you're the first field goal kicker on this drive. Boom, 33 yards, field goal. All right, next offense, run it out. Moody, 38 yards. Boom, you're good. Okay, this is what we're seeing, a live NFL game setting, even though it's preseason. But it's
so what you're saying is
setting.
So what you're saying is OTAs and training camp don't matter for the competition. It's only about preseason. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying live game setting. There's a difference. Live game setting.
So you're still saying that there's no value on OTAs and training camp. If it's not against another team, it doesn't matter. That's what you're saying.
No, I want.
So those 24 kicks that they did, because they were all in a controlled environment, mean absolutely nothing to you.
It means he just kicked 24 kicks. That's all it means to me. It's
they
not a
both
live game
kicked
set.
24 kicks.
Okay, I'll say it again.
And
2 people, 24 kicks. Joseph hit
means
one
nothing.
more. It means they just kicked field goals in T-shirts and shorts. It's not a live game setting. What happens if
they had pads on? You can't say T-shirts and shorts. Right. They were trying to block it in training camp, bro.
They're not.
It's down. They are trying. What are you talking about?
Setting. You yourself said it was a controlled setting.
It's controlled in a sense that, okay, you attempted it. Now run the next guy out there, and you attempt from the same spot and same place on the field. That's the control. And so you're diminishing that. You're saying that none of that shit mattered. Those 48 total kicks didn't mean anything, is what you're saying. And it only matters in a game situation.
I'm saying a game setting is more stressful environment than a kicking in practice. That's what I'm saying.
and so kicking in practice doesn't matter. That's
I did not say it did not matter. Do not put words in my mouth. I'm saying is this a game setting to practice are two different things. Two different things. How many times did you hear him have a phenomenal camp last year? Oh, he's kicking great. The leg is strong. He's back. He's this. He's accurate. What happened in the season?
Before the injury.
Before the injury or after the injury, he said he was healthy. If you're healthy, step on the field, do your job.
But you're talking about last year. I'm talking about this year. You're saying that none of that other shit mattered.
Okay, nothing. You're right.
I'm asking you.
I digress. I'm not arguing.
I'm asking you. Do you hold any value?
My flat out opinion is a game setting is better than any situation in practice.
I am accepting what you're saying, and now what I'm asking you is, do those practice kicks mean anything to you then?
If I'm saying that the game situation is more important, then no.
Okay. So that's what I'm asking you. If you don't think that anything they did this whole time doesn't matter,
situation, and you keep reiterating practice, I'm a game situation person
because they're evaluating in practice. The coaching staff is telling you we're evaluating in practice because if it's 4th and 13, I want to know which one of these guys is going to make it. The coaching staff is not me. This isn't a Mike opinion. Brant Boyer himself is saying, I want to see if both guys have to kick from the same spot in the same situation, same down or distance. He holds value in it. And I'm asking you if you think it's pointless. That's all I'm asking you.
Let me ask you this question. Before Jake Moody got hurt, if I'm correct, they traded for Zane Gonzalez, had him in camp, ran the same type of situation under Schneider, then traded Zane Gonzalez for a draft pick, and look at the outcome, granted, before injury. But look what happens. I don't think it's his leg. I don't think it's his mechanics. I think it's here. And that's why I'm telling you a game setting is more important for him. I think his issue is mental. I don't think it's his mechanics. He was a phenomenal kicker at Michigan.
But he changed his mechanics this offseason.
This year. I'm talking about last year. I said
this offseason, yeah.
Correct. I understand that. I'm talking about last year. They did the same thing with Zane Gonzalez. Moody blew him out of the water in practice. Shit the bed in the real season. I think his issue is not mechanics. It's not his approach. It's not anything to do with him physically kicking the ball. It's here. I don't think he's mentally strong enough for this.
So
that's why I think it's absolutely stupid not to put these guys in live situations.
Do you think that having a guy in training camp adds pressure to him, Moody, mentally? Hey, if you screw this up, there's somebody else that's coming right behind you. He's going to take your job. To me, that's more pressure than nobody being on the roster behind him. I think Moody's going to go through this preseason game with a breeze. I don't care what his stats are. I think he's thinking, "Oh, there's no one behind me. I don't give a shit." However, in a controlled environment, man, if I miss this one, that guy makes it. That's a negative look on me. That's to me, that's more pressure than no one being behind him. I don't care about the real game situation.
Less pressure because there's no result of a game, a win or a loss. So he knows if he misses that kick, they're going to get on him. Yeah, you know what, man? You got to make that kick, But it's not to the point where he's thinking, holy shit. If I don't hit this, we could lose this game. That's where the mental aspect comes into this. And that's where I think his issue is.
See, I see what you're saying.
And
you're thinking
that's why, again, I'm going to say it, live game situations is more important for him than it is practice. He's got to be in the situation to say, game's on the line. Holy shit, we're down by 3. We need this field goal to tie or in the fourth quarter. We need this field goal. Then if hopefully there's a situation in this week that it's like that. 100%. I hope there is. I want to see what happens. Maybe he rises to the occasion. He beats his mental hurdle. He spoke to somebody in the offseason. We don't know.
I get where we're hung up on it. now I get it. This conversation helped. This conversation paid dividends. To me, if my job brings in another supervisor that could potentially do my job, I'm panicking behind the scenes. Not even in real life situations. Behind the scenes, I'm panicking. Oh, I see the private chat. Let me see. Oh, that was earlier. Behind the scenes, I'm panicking, right? In a real game situation, if there's nobody in the building to take my job, I'm more relaxed. I could slack a little bit more. Going into this week, or going into this practice against the Broncos, going into Saturday's game with no one behind him, I think he can drop his guard more. However, behind the scenes, if I'm working hard and someone is outperforming me at my job, I'm going to be like, oh, my God, they're going to get rid of me. They can just bench me at any given moment. At any snap, they can get rid of me, and this guy can come in and take my job. Right now, to me, there's no pressure on him. There's no one physically in the building to take his job right now. To me, that's more of a mental reprieve, not less. Excuse me. This doesn't add more stress to him, in my opinion. There's no one behind him. Now they got to go and sign the guy. They got to bring this guy back. They got to hope that they can go back and get Greg Joseph. If he gets signed by another team, he's sitting here thinking, you guys don't know what the next guy is going to do. You don't know shit about this guy. I think there was more pressure on him knowing, all right, you go out there and you make this kick. And even if you make it, you barely made it. This guy kicked it right down the middle. And I think that's more pressure on him. They're going to be analyzing not only if I made it or missed it, but how good was I? Was it right down the middle? Was I still just getting it inside the right upright? Because we saw him pushing a lot of his kicks last year. We saw him pulling a lot of his makes. Nothing was going straight down the middle. It was nail-biting every fucking kick, right? But there was no one behind him to take the job until they signed someone else. So if you go into this game and you make it, cool. Walk away, and that's it. 50-50 every kick. But he made it better. He had more distance on it. They have a tracker in these balls and through the uprights that say after the kick would have been good from 64 yards, would have been good from 52 yards, right? They have all that shit. So in a practice mode, man, this guy could outperform me even though we have the same kicking percentage, even though we made the same kick after the same kick, but his were better. His were more down the middle. To me, that puts more pressure on Moody. Because if they don't like what I'm doing, they can easily say, Moody, sit down. He's going to get the next two sessions. Right now, there's no one behind him saying that right now. So I understand why you feel the way you feel. I didn't get it before this whole conversation. I thought like, yo, Tony is tripping. Mike is tripping. Like, I don't understand what you guys don't get about this. I thought y'all were tripping this whole time. You think that the pressure comes from something that counts, something that matters. Personally, as a guy in a building with a branch manager and then there's two supervisors, if that supervisor's outperforming me, they can easily say, hey, Mike, we don't need you. You're doing a good job, but that guy we think can do that same good job and we can save on a salary. We don't need you here now. I think there's more pressure behind the scenes, not in a real life situation, because now in a real life situation, not only you got to try people out, you got to sign somebody and then hope that they do better than me. You're putting yourself at a risk. If I can make it to this point in the season, it don't matter who's behind me if there's no one behind me. It doesn't exist. But if there's someone in the building that is there, willing, able to take my job, that's more pressure. When they hired my branch manager, before I was in my position at my job, it was just two supervisors and a regional. We didn't have a branch manager. They brought that branch manager in, and he started messing with my side of the table. He started messing with the drivers, and I was like, oh my God! If they think that this guy can do what I do, I'm obsolete. But until there was somebody physically there, I didn't take it as serious because there's nobody that can do what I do. Now you guys got to interview, you got to hire someone and hope for the best, and that guy could be worse than me if you replace me with a hire off the streets. But someone in the building doing my job, they could have easily said, oh, Mike, you're done. We don't need you anymore. So to me, that put more pressure on him with Greg Joseph being in the building. Now I get what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. You want it to be that, but they can't control. And that's what I go back to. They can't control that because they don't get a chance to say, all right, now we're playing against the Broncos, and Moody, you just made a 32-yarder. Hey, Greg, you go try and make the same 32-yarder, same position. They don't control that anymore.
I'm not worried about the match and the distances. What I'm worried about is him being pushed in a competition. Maybe this one he hits 30 and Joseph hits 51, and it flips because both these guys have strong legs. The strength of the leg isn't the issue. It's with Moody. I am 150% sold that his is mental. I don't think it's anything else. I think it's 150% mental. And I think by him switching out the long snapper, the holder, and bringing his former kicker in that worked with that holder, I think that's even more pressure on Moody. And I think they should have kept him on the roster to push him, to keep him pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. I don't care if they match. I don't care. One will get one will get the other. It's just, I just feel that he needs to be in that live setting because you could put people like how many, like I remember back in the day, the 49ers, they signed that guy, Jose Cortez, off the Mexican soccer league or something. He was literally off the street. The guy was nailing kicks in the friggin' at Santa Clara. Nailing kicks. He goes into the game, he misses them. He missed them. There's two different types of mindsets. There's two different types of situations. You're in an open atmosphere, no pressure. You're in practice. You're lining it up. Boom, you put it through. You line it up. Boom, you put it through. You move to the left, put it through. Right hash, put it through. But when you're in that game situation, it's different. It's totally different than being in a practice field and in a more different environment than a game setting. That's the way I am. That's the way I believe. I played it. I coached it. I know it. I see it. It's different. Some people just can't take the lights. And it's crazy because at Michigan, he was good. He kicked in the snow. He kicked in the cold. He kicked in the heat. That's why I think it's more mental with him. I don't think he has the mentality in his head, or he's strong mentally to get through this. That's my honest opinion. And like somebody said in here, when he misses a kick, you see it in his eyes. What does he do? Right down. Right to the ground. No eye contact, right to the ground. Robbie Gould used to miss kicks. He wore it. He knew it. He missed it. He's a veteran.
Yeah, but what was he doing looking at the ground, right? Like I'm a bowler, right? And when I throw my shot and I felt like everything was good, the first thing I do is look down and look at where my feet are, right? Like it could be that. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm saying that, when you have an approach, when you have a release and you have a target point, and you feel like you did those things at the end that end up, right? Because the kick goes up. So when you feel like you did those things right, the next thing you do is you swing back down and you look at your footing. Did I end where I wanted to end? So that looking down doesn't necessarily mean that it's like I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed, or whatever. It could be, did I end where I wanted to end? Are my feet where I thought they were? I'm just saying, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I mean, if he's standing there and going through his head mentally with like a mental rep, did I miss my step? No, but I mean, I'm talking about when the guy's jogging off the field. Like
Okay. You mean walking back to the sideline?
Yeah, like when they walk off the field, he's down. Like that's weakness. That's like low self-esteem.
And you're disappointed. You let your team down. You're also disappointed with that. So it's like, oh man, what was me?
But like this team, it's not the team it was when they were in the Super Bowl contention, where they're loaded and like all right, he missed 2 field goals. Our offense could pick it up. Our defense could step up. This is a young defense coming in this year. This is an offensive team that is very good, but they have problems at wide receiver. But they're still good enough, I think, where they could compete due to the schedule that they're given this year. And Kyle Shanahan calling plays. And Christian McCaffrey, Kittle back. Those crucial pieces are there, unlike last year and last year. So I honestly feel that this team could win with this group, even with the banged up wide receiver situation. But they're not that good to cover up for a weakness at the kicker spot. That's the problem. And that's why I feel that they insisted on competition. They openly said, we are having a competition, right? And that's why I think they should have fully seen this competition through until the cut down. Because what happens? Okay, yeah, let's just say Moody has a phenomenal game this week, right? Let's just say it. He goes 3 for 3, bangs one from 53 yards, no issue. Great. Moody's on the upward trajectory. Let's say Nick Folk from the Jets gets hurt. Who do they call? The kicker we just cut. Now guess what?
Greg Joseph.
Now guess what? Moody has a down week. Now you're scrambling to find somebody to come in. This is what I'm just trying to avoid. We can't go into this situation. We can't go into this season where it's like, all right, well, we got to find a new kicker this week. Well, he's not doing it. This guy's no good. We're moving on from Moody, or Moody's ankle's not good, so we're going to go to this guy. This guy misses. Well, I got to find a new kicker. No. They need to make a decision. It's either Moody or it's Joseph, and that's it.
Now you're saying what I was saying, because without somebody in there, now you got to go find somebody. And that's exactly what my point was with what you're saying now. Like that's where I ended. It's like now you got to go find somebody else, and that guy may not work out for you. Versus somebody in here putting just as much pressure on me. So we're saying the same thing at the end of it, but I see the perspectives that we're looking at now. Now I understand those perspectives. Before we get rid of this depth chart, and I ask you about a couple of other storylines, is there anything else on this depth chart that stands out to you? Any other competitions you're going to be watching? I know a lot of people feel like Jake Brindle shouldn't be the starting center. I haven't heard a lot of positive about Dominic Pooney this entire offseason. I haven't heard anything positive about him from OTAs, from training camp, anything like that. One-on-ones, I have not heard his name at all. And that kind of scares me, because we were kind of looking forward to this guy taking the next step forward, being a little bit more dominant. And it's not to say that he hasn't, but we haven't heard it. Are there any other position groups, any other roster spots up for grab? Maybe the nickelback, right? They have Trey Brown ahead of Upton Stout, but Upton Stout has been the only name that we've heard of really shining at that position, right? Like, is there anyone else or any other position that you feel is maybe a competition, a spot up for grabs for, that you want to highlight before we move on from here?
I think Hennessy is going to get a lot of reps at guard. I think Zakel is going to get a lot of reps at center, because Zakel is a better guard than he is center, and Hennessy is a better center than he is guard. So I think out of the two of them, they're going to kind of try to come up and come up with somebody to be the guard center swing. So I think those two you have to watch. I think the tackle position you're going to have to watch. Burford, the combination of Burford, Prince, Pleasance, all those guys. Alcaron, I don't, whatever. I don't see him as a threat. The tight end group, I think between Dwelly, Tungis, and Willis is going to be interesting. What else? I'm trying to think.
How does Ross Dwelly continually make this roster? Where does this guy keep coming from? Like, he hasn't signed with another team. Like, how does he keep coming back here?
I mean, they like him. I mean, he's versatile. He plays the fullback. When Juice was banged up, that one year he played fullback, he played tight end. The guy can catch. It's not the issue. He's not fast. The problem is he just can't block for shit. And I think that's going to hurt him. I think Braden Willis had a great camp. I think he's showing to be that Delaney Walker type tight end, if you will, where you have Kittle and Farrell. Because I think they're looking for, like, their third tight end. I think they want it to be like a move tight end. Because Farrell is a blocker, Kittle's a blocker and a primary receiver. So I think if, God forbid, I don't even want to say it, but
don't say it. But if who is the next Kittle of the rest of these guys? Who is the next guy that can catch and block at a decent rate for the Niners, based off of these other four tight ends?
Catch and block at a decent rate would be Farrell, because the other two can't block. The other three can't block. So you have three receivers competing for the third spot. The only thing I think where there would be a slight advantage, I think, because Braden Willis is more athletic, he could double down as a backup to the fullback. God forbid if Juice got banged up, or they would bring Dwelly back at that point. I don't know what they would do, but the tight end, those three players at tight end is interesting. The defensive tackles, I think, are going to be interesting between Elliott, Collins, West, Davis, Anderson, Sebastian Valdez.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't even know where he came from. He's a rookie.
There's a lot of positive coming from him, and there's Jalen Allen that they just signed last week. They're saying his first
They
step.
have him as an edge. Yeah.
They're saying his first step is insane. He doesn't offer much as a run stopper, but as a pass rusher, his first step is insane. And he's got a high motor. I mean, I would put him right now over Gavin just by what I'm hearing from him. But, I mean, listen, it's early. This is why the preseason's here. I want to another group I'm going to watch because I don't think Green or Lenore play at all. I think you're too.
Well, wait. Before you get to the secondary, let me go back to the defensive line. We've heard a lot of negative about Alfred Collins and high pad level and lack of pass rush moves and speed and all that stuff. What prior to any of these reports, what were your expectations on usage of Alfred Collins?
He stops the run, but I think he has an upside that once he gets into this system and because you got to remember something, he's behind the 8 ball. He missed all of OTAs. He missed all the pre-camp in the beginning with the calf. Then he started coming in with the pads. He's improving with his pad level. He's getting push up the middle. I think he's going to be primarily a run stopper. I think they went into this draft saying we're going to stop the run, so they brought in those 3 guys up front, work with Nick Bosa. And most importantly, if you look at Collins and you look at West, those guys are going to keep the 2 inside linebackers clean. They're space eaters. They don't want these guys getting to the second level to hit these guys. They want their second level guys to run sideline to sideline and make plays. So I think that's why they went that route with those 2. I do think Alfred Collins has what it takes to be a run stopper / pass rusher in the NFL. I think he has the size, the mass, the arm length, the strength. I just think he needs to get acclimated to this system because what he played in Texas and what he's going to be playing here, totally different. So he needs to get used to this system. I think you will see, because it's been 2 straight days that the reports have been positive and there's been improvement with him. His pad level has dropped a little bit. He's getting off the ball quicker. He's engaging and shedding the blocks. He made a stop behind the line of scrimmage at one point I read. So you're hearing the positive. I do think West starts a defensive tackle over him right now, but there's positive coming out of this. I think the Niners potentially could have a solid defensive tackle group, but they're just young guys.
All right, and I know you wanted to talk about the secondary here, so let's go ahead and get to it here. Bernardo Green, Diamador Lenore, we're not expecting to see a whole lot from those guys. They have Trey Brown listed above Upton Stout. How do you see this thing playing out here for the corners and the backs here in the secondary?
I think Luter and Trey Brown start as the outside corners with Stout as the inside as the nickel. I want to see this kid Dallas Flowers. Everyone just keeps talking about this kid. I want to see him. He was handpicked and brought by Gus Bradley from Indianapolis, where he tore his ACL, I think, last year. I think he tore it a year before. He brought him into San Francisco with him, and, you've been nothing but positive reports. Eli Apple, I think he's there as a body, as a veteran, maybe to win the 5th corner spot. Another dude I really want to get my eyes on is that Jacob Robinson, the undrafted free agent from BYU. Week in and week out, all you're reading is how this kid makes pass breakups. He jumps the routes and knocks the ball out of receiver's hands. That means he's consistently around the ball. He has a high IQ. He's seeing the routes and knows when they're breaking, and he's instinctual. So those are 3 things that I like, and his time speed is good. He's a 4.4, a 4.38, I think he ran from BYU. So it's going to be interesting. I want to see those young guys get in there. Hopefully, the top guys sit. I think Jason Pinnock is going to be. I think he could potentially have a very solid year with this defense. I think he's going to be a starter. I think it's going to come down to Jair Brown and Mustafa for the other starting spot for the strong safety. But obviously, he's not. I don't think Jair Brown will play. I don't even think Pinnock's going to play. I don't even think obviously Mustafa's not going to play. I want to see. I think Richie Grant will play, and I want to see this kid Marquis Sigel, another guy that I'm really high on, and I want to see where they're going to use Sirion Neal. Is he going to be a safety? Is he going to be a corner? Because he can play both. He's listed as a safety on the depth chart. I want to see if they're going to give him reps as a corner.
Very interesting, man. Very, very interesting. I'm so looking forward to this preseason game, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. The deeper we go into the preseason, the more I'm going to be watching and glued in. The first couple of drives, I'm less worried about because there's more starters out there. I want to see the depth. I want to see how they all answer the bell. I want to see, it's going to sound crazy, right? I want to see Mac Jones in the system, and I want to see Mac Jones for 2 quarters. I want to see some of these backups out there playing as if their job is on the line and their starters. I want to see what Luke Gifford can bring to the table and Nick Martin can bring to the table, right? And so this is going to be a lot of fun, man. Tony, is there anything in particular you're looking forward to in this preseason game? And keep in mind that there is going to be a joint practice. Only one, not 2. Kyle said that in his presser, he said that, he's very excited that there's only one joint practice because what ends up happening is on day 1, the people that win fights start with those same people in day 2 because everyone's now coming after that person. So he's very happy that you don't have to deal with that in this scenario. So we're going to do one practice with the Broncos, and then we're going to have basically a walkthrough and then go into the game situation. So the team isn't going to have that opportunity to fight. They're going to have that moment of time to repress those feelings and refocus and go out there and back to doing their job. So that high emotion and all the fights and pushing and shoving, it's not going to be there because day 2 doesn't exist. That's only going to be with the Raiders. So what are you looking forward to? What are you going to be watching for? And will you be with us on Nothing But Niners for this game?
Probably not because I have to work. I thought it was Friday. I didn't know. I thought it was Friday, but it's Saturday. So I got to work, and I have to wait to the replay. I think it's midnight midnight Sunday. I have a DVR. I'm gonna watch it then. But I just want to see them come out and compete. I want to see these guys show some promise. If there's things that they need to work on, okay, we're going to see it on this tape, and then the next week when they play, you want to see them correct those issues. Then from that point going forward, but yeah, like you said, I'm really excited to really watch them finally play, put on the uniform, put those shiny gold helmets on, and let them do their thing and let them earn their spots.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. And last thing for me, I asked it earlier, mixed in with a bunch of other questions about the offensive line, but any concerns about Dominic Pooney and the lack of reporting on him, development on him?
No, I'm not concerned. I mean, it seems like if you read between the lines, they're really trying to find the number 2. And you're hearing everything from Colby. You're hearing now Moss's name is being thrown into the equation for center. I think he'll be fine, Pooney. I'm not concerned at him. Ben Barch is probably going to be our starting left guard going forward. Let's just hope he can stay healthy because when he's on the field, he's not a bad option. But the problem is he only won 2 starts last year and he got hurt. And that was it. So
are you concerned about Jake Brindle as a center?
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't matter what we think because Forrester and Kyle thinks he's the top center in the league. So, I mean, I don't know. It is a concern. In my personal opinion, I would be giving Matt Hennessy every opportunity to beat Brendel. I mean, maybe they're not saying it to the public. Maybe there is a competition and they don't want to get it out. But I would sure as shit hope so that there's a competition between them two because you get a big zero technique on him, it's over. He can't do it.
All right. Listen, we're not going to belabor this thing. We're not going to drag this thing out. We are well over an hour now. Let me see here if we have any questions in the chat that we need to go over here. Pooney is good. If Moody stays, then we are going. Okay, can we try out Alfred at right tackle? What? Alfred Collins at right tackle? What? No. Tony, you can see it in Jake's eyes. How do you feel about ESPN getting NFL Network deal? Do you think it changed anything, Tony?
I don't know, man. This is a money thing. I don't know. I hope they don't start charging for shit now, like because it's ridiculous. You got to pay for this, pay for that, pay for this, pay for that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
ESPN is a part of Disney. Disney's all about making money, so I just hope it's not about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the league makes more than enough money that,
but they could always make more. They can always make more, and that's what this is really about. As long as they make it available for us, as long as I get my NFL replay on the NFL Network, then I couldn't possibly care less. It's not going to change the way I watch games or anything like that. So it is what it is. They said Red Zone $27 a month with the deal.
That's
what
insane.
was Red Zone before a month? Is that how much it is a month for real?
That's insane. I think the package for the NFL Network to get NFL Network plus Red Zone, I think is $9.95
a month.
Yeah, they're charging you $27 just for Red Zone.
Oh, you know what? You said that, and I was thinking Sunday Ticket. You're talking about Red Zone and NFL Network. That's very different. That's very different than Sunday Ticket because Sunday Ticket was a lot of money. It was like $100 a month for 4 or 5 months. So.
This guy's saying 480. I'm not paying 480.
That's about what it was, though.
I'm only paying 300. I think because I signed up. Huh?
You got a student in your house?
No, that was my scam, but I lost that. I was paying $79.99 for the NFL ticket when it was the NFL ticket because on my niece's college ID.
Well, if you guys are out there and you are worried about where to watch the games live on game day, make sure you guys subscribe to patreon.com/NB9ERS, $5 tier or higher. That is where we will have the games on game day. And we will find a way to make it work. All right. Even if I go to the games, my wife is now, trained is a bad word to talk about your wife. She is now taught how to put the broadcast up. Educated. There you go. She's now educated on how to broadcast the streams for us. So you guys make sure you are locked in. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. Subscribe over there. Again, it's $5 tier and higher, not the $1 tier, definitely not the free tier. If you guys are looking for a way to watch the games on Sunday, we'll have that all taken care of for you. Beautiful watch party. We have a really, really good time. You guys get to see some more of NY to the Bay in there as well. So, listen, that's going to do it. I hope you guys get it all worked out there. I hope you guys get to enjoy this NFL season. I am going to enjoy it from start to finish. I wish I could sit here and try to pretend like I was scared or worried about how the season is going to go. The truth of the matter is I'm not. There's some position groups that I can't wait to watch. I'm going to be more anxious to watch them in the second preseason game, less about this first one because of the joint practice that is going to happen, and less about the last one because of the joint practices that are going to happen. But that second one is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of evaluation going on there for the depth of this team. And then when we get to the third one, it's where the starters are supposed to make their run. So we'll see how it all plays out. That's all I got for you, man. Tony, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Nah, just can't wait to watch the replay.
It's going to be tough to watch the second game. I know we're not there yet, but we got a joint practice in this one, and then we have 2 practices so that they usually sit a lot of the starters in the and the game following the joint practices. So we got 3 practices with the teams in these next 2 weeks. I have no idea what we're going to get in the second preseason game. So we'll see how it plays out. But that third game with the Chargers, it's going to be a lot of fun. Jim Harbaugh versus Kyle Shanahan. I can't wait for those storylines to write themselves. A little bit of Trey Lance getting sprinkled in there. It's going to be hell to pay, man. And if you guys aren't faithful, your loyalty is going to be tested for sure heading into that preseason game, not even a game that counts. So we'll talk about it when it all comes up, man. Tony, thanks so much for jumping in here. Guys, if you want to follow Tony on social media, again, his handle is NJ9er Fan 499. That is NJNINER FAN 499. Give him a follow over there on the X, and you can see my handle is right here. It is Mike Andrews 83. And if you want to follow the Nothing But Niners channel, it is Nothing But 9 ERS. That is the X handle as well as the Snapchat. Please get on over there, subscribe, and last but certainly not least, head on over to patreon.com/NB9ERS. A lot of bonus shows over there. And then when the season comes, you get to watch the games with us as well. All right, that's going to do it. Tony, you ready to go home? Because I'm ready to get the hell out of here, man.
Yes, sir.
Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always
remain faithful.
Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but. We them nothing but Niners.